Hello and welcome to today's episode of pianoTV. I am Allysia, your host, and today I wanted to sit down and chat with you guys about the online Piano World recital that's held once every 3 months. And what we're going to talk about in this video is why you should participate in this fun online recital. I'm going to be participating in this time around, what the benefits of being in recitals are in the first place, and how you can join. So let's get started. So first off, what is the Piano World Recital? Well, it is a recital that is held online on a piano forum called Piano World in the adult beginner forums. But you don't need to be an adult beginner to participate. You can be like in your first few weeks of playing, or you could be like a seasoned, playing for 30 years piano player. This recital in particular is pretty special because it's their 50th recital, which means if there's one every quarter, so there's 4 a year, that means that it's been like over 12 years that they've been doing it. So in that time, in the last 12 and a half years, over 500 people have participated. And the average amount of people participating in each individual recital is, I think it's something like 45, somewhere between 40 and 50 anyway. So it is a lively event. So who can participate in these recitals? Honestly, anyone. Like 100% serious. They make it really clear in their FAQs and all the information about joining. You could be in your first week, you could be like in the Alfred All-in-One Method book, or you could be quite advanced. Anyone is welcome to participate, so there's no need to be shy or feel like self-conscious about what level you're at as a piano player. These recitals aren't about being the best. It's about being a part of a community and, participating in something that you don't necessarily get an opportunity to a lot as an adult. I mean, kids tend to get ample performance opportunities, but not so much adults. And piano is such a solitary instrument that it's nice to take advantage of these opportunities where we can kind of come together and support each other. And I want to say too, as someone who's been playing piano for many, many years, since I was a kid, and I've been teaching for over a decade, I never tire of hearing beginner pieces. Like, the money can't buy everything in the Alfred book or whatever. Like it doesn't matter. Like it's always refreshing and fun to kind of go back to those old favorites. So it's not like people who are playing Chopin nocturnes are going to just be sitting there judging your skill or something like that. Like a lot of us who are more advanced think it's really, really fun to hear those beginner pieces and to provide support and encouragement and constructive feedback. Okay, so when are the Piano World Forum recitals held? The fun thing about these is that they're not live recitals. So it's not like you have to show up at a certain time and perform in front of a bunch of people at like a specified time. You basically have 2 weeks, well, longer, to prepare a recording. You have 2 weeks to submit a recording. And so that means if you want to do like 100 takes to get it just right, you're more than welcome to do so. So they have these recitals every quarter. So that would be February, May, August, and November. They're 3 months apart. Submissions open on the first of those months. So in this case, submissions are going to open May 1st because I'm recording this in March 2018. So May 1st they open, and then you have 2 weeks to submit, and then the recitals go live on the 15th of whatever month that they're being hosted on. So May 15th is when the official recital, like all the songs are going to be released for everyone to listen to. Okay, so that's all well and good, but how exactly does participating in this recital work? Well, all you have to do is you go to recitals.pianoworld.com, and starting on May 1st, or if you're following this video later on February 1st, November 1st, any of those, the submission box will open, so you'll be able to submit your recording on that website. When you submit your recording, you can add all kinds of details. You can add like your name, what the recording is, how long you've been playing, any like notes or like special things that you want people to know about your recording and stuff like that. And then once the 15th rolls around, a playlist will be made of everyone's submissions. And there will also be a forum page that people can go on to support each other, to give comments on specific pieces or just like the group as a whole. And and they even make like a wiki page with details on every performance, just to kind of keep it all archived. The pieces are added to the playlist in the order that they're received too. So if you want to be at the front of the queue, be sure to submit early. You want to submit like closer to May 1st as opposed to the 15th. You're not limited in style with your submissions either, and I think that's important to say. A lot of people do choose to submit classical music, but you can do pop, jazz, honestly, like any piano style you can think of. And you can even have other instruments. So you could submit a recording of you playing piano and singing, or piano with like other instruments if you're doing like digital recordings. As long as piano is the main instrument in your recording, that is the only specification. Otherwise, style-wise, the sky's the limit. And I do want to say there are other kinds of recitals too. So they do the quarterly recital, but they also have, Piano World also does occasional themed recitals. They could be themed in style, like a Baroque recital, or they could be themed by a composer, like a Chopin recital. And you can just keep up to date on when these recitals happen by hanging out on the Piano World forums. And I'm not sponsored by Piano World or anything. I just think what they do is really cool, and I think that you guys should know about it. So why even bother participating in these recitals? I think the biggest reason is for that sense of community and camaraderie. And again, since piano is such a solitary instrument, we're basically just like used to playing piano in a corner somewhere all alone. So this is an opportunity to step out of that corner and, you know, join other people who are doing the same things. And that can create a lot of accountability as well. If it's just you alone, it's easy to kind of, I don't know, be lazy. But if there's a recital or something to work towards, like exams I've talked about on this channel too, then it's a reason to maybe push yourself a little bit more. I said this earlier too, but adults don't generally have a lot of opportunities to perform, especially like hobbyists. If you're a little bit more serious, maybe you have opportunities like playing at a church or something like that. Or if you live in a larger center, maybe you have an adult group that gets together and plays piano. But most of us don't have access to that kind of thing. So being able to do something online fills a really important gap, I think, in our education as piano players. And again, since this isn't live, you don't need to worry about performance anxiety. You don't have to get up in front of a bunch of people and worry about that. You can record at your own leisure, and again, do 100 takes if that's what you need to do. You might be wondering, how do I record my piece to submit this? And depending on what your piano and keyboard situation is, you have a couple different options. If you play on an acoustic piano and that's what you have access to, the best sounding recordings that you'll get will be with a compression microphone, but most people don't just like have those laying around unless you're a little bit more of a serious musician. If you are a keyboardist, you might have the option of doing a direct line-in recording where your keyboard connects via USB either to a mixer or directly to your computer. And you can do like a MIDI file like that. I'm not an expert on recording though, as you can tell from how little I know as I'm speaking about this right now. So if you go to the recitals.pianoworld.com link, there is a link to more details about how to record based on what you have. And I mean, it's not the end of the world to use like a smartphone or things like that. They're not the best, but they've come a long way in terms of quality. You just want to make sure that you keep them far enough away that they're not distorted from the volume being too loud. So you might need to play around with that a little bit. I personally use a Yeti compression mic. It's not like the best thing in the world, but it works pretty well for my acoustic piano, and it plugs right into my laptop's USB. So it's a really, really simple solution. And when you're doing a recording, your upload file size is limited to 20 megabytes, which is going to be about a 7 to 9 minute recording. Most of us aren't going to be doing 7 to 9 minute recordings, so that's okay. If you check the description bar below this video, you'll find a link to the blog post that goes along with this video, and I'll have all the resources mentioned in this video linked there that you can go over and check out if you want to get into this. I also have a few videos that I've made that you might want to check out that you might find helpful. Learning a piano piece for the first time might be something you want to check out. A practice piano with me November, when I played November by Tchaikovsky. I kind of just like talk through my learning process of learning the entire piece. And then another video that I made that you might find useful for this is how to bring a piece to performance level. And again, these will all be linked over on the blog. And that is all for today's video. I really hope that you'll join us over on Piano World to participate in this recital. It's a good push to practice in the springtime, whether or not you're preparing for an exam or just kind of casually learning. I hope you'll join us over there. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the next one.